Welcome to HDPP Live on a Saturday night to the UK and around the world with photos, memories and friends. This is HDPP Live. How are you this evening? Are you all well?
Hinckley District past and present for you, meeting friends old and new. Streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays too, with founder members Paul and Sue. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Film clips, photos, memories and friends helps a dreary night go by. Wearing Hinckley's 6 of the best, stupendous quizzical high. The smiles that we bring are a heritage thing. HDPP, keeping history alive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Where local memories survive. HDPP, streaming HDPP live. Let's take you back in time. A community affair. We'll take you for a ride. Henson's Cab will take you there. We're making history. HDPP, chat room applauses. History aside. Local causes. Streaming HDPP live. Betty is our queen bee. The sweetest holy candy. Dangerous Den here again. HDPP live. Hey, you know we keep it in HDPP.
There they go, here we come. It's Saturday night, or indeed Sunday. I don't care anymore. No, it's Sunday night, just to make you worry. Saturday night. I still feel like it's Saturday night. Good evening. Sunday night, I can assure you. It's the retirement brain kicking in there. I think that's what it is. It doesn't matter anymore, doesn't it? Yes, just the other day. Good evening, by the way. Welcome to Hinckley District Past and Present Live. And literally Friday, Sue and I got our bus passes. Woohoo! Boy, my word, don't you know it? So that was interesting. Just one more day to go, then officially, yeah. Anyway, I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but it's true. It's true. So there we go. Listen, a great program lined up for you as always on a Sunday night. This is where, for any new viewers, welcome in, come on in. Lots of friends in the chat room, as you can see, and they're all regulars, and we'll always welcome new people to join us and feel part of this great little thing which we've called HDPP. Yeah, Hinckley District Past and Present. So, with no further ado, and I always like to try and welcome everybody, particularly in the chat room, in. So let me just scroll all these good names here. Ian Roberts was the first person in, as you can see this evening, and then followed by John Fletcher. Oh, hello. He's here too. Daniel Coburn's here. Hi, Daniel. He says, oh, hello. Good evening, Paul and Sue, and everyone that's watching. I'm watching from work tonight. Oh, wow. Don't tell the boss. Hello. Is that Daniel's boss? No, I wouldn't do that, matey. So welcome, Daniel. Glad you're watching all the way at work in Burton somewhere. I think that is absolutely. Steve's here. Hi, Grandad. Hope you're doing okay, matey. And Kath Denny's here tonight. Having a few hours off on the book. Yeah. And John Denny's here too. Listen, I've been told I mustn't do that. It's called, apparently in this day and age, it's called bullying. No, I'm going to leave John alone. I'm going to let him sit in his own stew. And that wasn't the first word I thought about anyway. Hi, John. Glad you're here tonight. Also, Carol Beasley. Oh, hello. Glass of wine tonight. Well done. David Blow is here. He couldn't wait. He was knocking on the door early tonight, he was. Jan Kirby, nice to know that the Kirbys are with us tonight. And also, Russett's here, Mary Blake's here. Queen Bee is here too, with a good evening. I know, don't you get clumsy with the old things? I did earlier on, and I said, welcome Queen Bee, and I put Queen Bee 1 instead of exclamation mark. So it happens to us all. Clive Armstrong's here as well. Dave B congratulated me on getting the date right on the date stamp on the broadcast. Yes, I know, I have to double check that. The Crops are in. We remember the Crops. Bless them. So they're here tonight as well. Tim and little Jane are here as well, which is lovely. Kay Norton's here, along with the likes of Gary Betterley. He's here, but not all there. I can go with that, matey. I really can. Jeff Wallace is here as well. David S. Good evening, Paul Sue, and everybody in the room. Oh, it says here, yeah. Oh, we can show that. Jan Kirby saying, fat fingers. Yeah, absolutely. And John's just had to pop Junior home, so he'll be back in minutes. Well, tell him we're not going to be talking about him tonight. I don't want to be accused of bullying anymore. No, I'm not that you did. I'm just thinking, well. Meanwhile, Dangerous Dan had a great, he's not here at the moment, but Dangerous Dan had a great day yesterday up at Burbage Library for the launch of his book, A Burbage Boyhood. Well done, Dennis. He's probably going to be watching this later tonight, so that's why I know he's not with us at the minute. So absolutely brilliant. Really good, and his book will be in Jaspers from tomorrow onwards. I've got them here. I've got to go and take them up. So if you are thinking of getting a book from Dangerous Den, we'll be in Jaspers tomorrow. Now then, birthday girl. Yesterday, as you know, I was on FOS 107. I've had some great fun Saturday mornings on FOS 107. I did my last shift just yesterday. Hopefully, they'll be asking me to do a few more. But it was lovely to say happy birthday to little Jane Brown. And Jane, I gave you a shout out and stuff. But listen, no birthday is complete without the HDPP singers all singing to little Jane, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, wow. Jane, happy birthday for yesterday. And also somebody else, Jaspers, celebrating their 5th birthday today. Jaspers store in Hinckley, who are, of course, great supporters of HDPP. Nip along on their website and Facebook pages. They've been what are they? Balmy, that lot are. They've had a lot of fun. 3 days of birthday celebrations, and I've been watching some of the posts that have been on. They've had a great time. Seriously, if you didn't go up and get the singers, the face painters, and the quiz show and all that lot up there, then you've missed something really special. So Gareth and the team at Jaspers, happy 5th Jasper's birthday to you. Absolutely. Okay. Quite funnily enough, if you look just there, if you look just up here, Kay Norton says, I'm on the M1 coming from Barnsley. I'm watching on my car phone. I hope you're not driving. I doubt she is now. But Kay, you fricked me then. I thought, oh my word, I don't want to be responsible for that. Anyway, and lots of people saying happy birthday to our Jane. Jane's a lovely girl, and I've known her a long time. And as I say, so it's a pleasure to have happy birthday to you. And as Jan's just been saying there about Jasper's had a lovely celebrations over the weekend. Okay, we're all here for Sunday night, which means 6 of the best. We're going to do that in just one moment. But first, because of Jasper's and stuff, let's run our advert, shall we? Oh, thank you, Jaspers, indeed, for your support. Really well appreciated. So I'm just reading, really had a scare now. Kay Norton, we just say she's driving on the M1 at the minute. We just got Kay Norton. It says J. I'm thinking, oh no, I thought she'd come off the road. Kay, stop it! You're making me all of a thing. You really are. Russet says, "Welcome, Paul, to the Happy Retirement Club." Thank you. Just a couple of days away from it officially now. I know. Good grief. There we have it. Right, are you indeed? By the way, Mary Blake saying what a great fun it was at Jasper's the other day. Fantastic, brilliant. Okay, time for 6 of the best. Now, as I always say on this, remember, don't put your answers in the chat room because people will nick them. And you know what they are, you don't want that. So, there you go. Just be aware of that. Lovely. Okay, Jane's just saying thank you very much. She can't type on her phone, so it says Tim. So it's Jane on Tim's phone. I can't chat on my phone. Thank you, Paul, for all your birthday wishes. Much love, Jane. There we go. Right, okay. 6 of the best it is. Have you got your pens and paper ready? Cool. Couple of good ones in here today. Let's see how you do with it. So, 6 of the best it is, demanding the best of your general and local knowledge. Okay, remember, do not put your answers in the chat room. They'll get nicked. Okay, so here we go with question number 1. Now, known to generations of Hinckley youth as Daddy B of Daddy B's Cafe on Northfield Road, but what was Daddy B's real name? Paul, give yourself a big pat on the back because that is a damn good question. That's a good one. That's a stinker. One of those is the correct answer. Known to generations of Hinckley youth as Daddy B of Daddy B's Cafe on Northfield Road, what was his real name? Daddy B's Cafe, it was one of those places, one of those go-to places. A lot of scooters and bikes would go out that way on Northfield Road. It was very popular, so hopefully that's a damn good one. So, what was his real name? It's there on the screen, but which one of those 3 is the correct name, the real name for Daddy B? That is question number 1. Right, moving on to question 2. Question 2, general knowledge. Loggerhead and snapping are types of what? Loggerhead and snapping are types of what? That is your general knowledge question this week. Question number 3, true or false? Yes, we have no bananas. Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun. Is that true? Is it false? Is it a load of old bananas? Well, at least it is a load of old bananas, yeah. But there you go. But is that true or false? Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun. Paul, that's another. Just a bit, pat yourself on the back again. That is a real good question. Let's see how many get that right tonight. Question number 4. You'll guess the year for this year. This time. What year did Hinckley's very first X-ray unit open? Was it 71, 72 or 73? One of them, of course, is, as usual, the correct answer. I can remember the fundraising going on for that all those years ago. But what year was the very first, not sequential, the very first time we had our own X-ray unit? The town was fundraising for many years to get it. Yeah. So there you go. Question number 5 now. Where am I? I am in Hinckley. I am in Hinckley, but where am I in Hinckley? There we go. Just leave it on the screen a moment, just so you can get your bearings. Where in Hinckley am I? Am I? Good. Okay. And we're going to move on to question 6. This is where you're going to need your pen and paper because you need to scribble these letters down. The anagram question, the favourite question of the week. Balance cannonball duelings. It makes me laugh, that does. Balance cannonballed duelings. Now, I'm giving you a clue of no judging here. Now, I am going to add to that, just to give you an idea. We're looking for a now long gone social venue in Hinckley. So we're looking for a long gone social venue in Hinckley. Balance cannonball duelings. And the clue is, there's no judging here. Mrs. G did get it. Yeah, otherwise I'll get no tea. She had to wrestled it a little bit, but she got it in the end. She said, oh yeah. So there we go. Balance cannonball duelings. Rearrange that. You'll find a now long gone social venue. But this venue was known for doing something else. It was more known for doing a particular thing. Hence where the clue would come in. I'm saying no more this time around. So there we go. Very, very quickly then, through the questions one more time. Known to generations of Hinckley youth as Daddy B of Daddy B's Caff on Northfield Road. What was his real name? Question 2. Loggerheads and snapping are types of what? Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun. Is that true? Or is it false? Question 4. What year did Hinckley's very first X-ray unit open? Question 5. Where am I? I am in Hinckley, but where am I? Cheeky. And question 6. The anagram question. Balanced cannonballed duelings. We're looking for a now long gone social venue, which was known for doing lots of another thing actually, which was very popular at the time. But of course, it's no longer there in that capacity. And the judging is the prize is no judging here. I love it that Daniel Coburn says, some good questions tonight. Absolutely. I'm going to be very surprised if people get 6 out of 6 tonight. Okay, so there we have it. We've got that all laid out. We know where we are. Now, as always here on HDPP, we're always up to different things all the time. As you know, coming up very, very soon is our social night, our great night. Our presentation night. It's our biggest night of the year. This is when we ask you all to come along. Well, we like you all to come along to our social nights anyway, but this one is the special one because you see where your nominated get causes get a donation from our Good Causes Fund. And this year we have a pot of, I can't believe it, £4,000. And that's all thanks to you. You people supporting all what we do, be it buying a badge, be it buying our DVD, be it buying raffle tickets. You see, we pull it all together and this is what we do. So hence why a lot of local good causes are going to benefit from your generosity. That's on Wednesday the 22nd of February at the Greyhound, as you know. So please come along. because it's your night. It's your night. It's as simple as that. So if you'd, make sure you don't miss it. That's right. And I'm also delighted to say also is that we have a night booked, an evening, I should say, an evening with Joseph Barsby and the G-Seller team on Tuesday, the 4th of April. Now, these are very, very popular because it's a no holds barred. Ask any question you want, you'll get the answers. And it's a it really sounds odd when I say that. It's a splendid little evening. And this is the 4th one that we have arranged with our sponsor, G-Seller. And it's a very nice evening, very informal. They do great tea, coffee and biscuits on the night as well. So I'm going. But for those of you that haven't been, or you're just curious, there's nothing wrong. This is it. And as I always say, you're never going to see anything you're not supposed to. Everything is very, very professional. And what would you expect from G-Sellers? Nothing but the absolute best. And there we go. Now, it's a ticket event, but the tickets are free. I have to explain this because people think I'm selling tickets. No. The tickets are so we know how many people are intending to come, because we can't have we can't have a vast amount of people, otherwise it makes it really awkward. So the tickets are free. You can get the tickets. We'll have them with us on our social night, our scanning sessions, or if you email us, contact@hdpp.co.uk, you can arrange to come and collect them from us. So there's no charge at all. But as I say, it's just a case of we do that so we can ascertain how many people are coming. Right, okay, enough from me at the minute. I better go and draw some breath. The last couple of Sundays, we've been looking at Morning in the Streets. We've got the last sort of 8 minutes of that to show you. And I've got to try and do this very carefully now because I have to click a couple of buttons. This Morning in the Streets, which is on the BBC originally, I found it on YouTube. And like I say, we can relate to a lot of it, even though it's not Hinckley. So I want you could probably remember this probably from your parents' days and stuff, because they would certainly remember of a time of when it was like this. So as I say, it's Morning in the Streets. It's the last sort of 7-8 minutes of it, and I've got to press this button here.
Oh, just the flaming thing there about it. Gets on my nerves with this at times with that thing when he's chowing and going on with this stuff instead of being a good boy. As I was telling you, over this new job I've been after, you see. And she asked me what I do with the carpets for her, so I told her I didn't want to do the carpets. I'd already done the big one in the parlour. She didn't say to me she didn't want any carpets, but she wanted to know, really, what was the reason I'd left me other place for. So, of course, I told her it was over the carpets.
The landlord came up, you see, the other day, and he said to me, is your sister still living with you? I said, yes, I said, you can't put her out in the...
So I started to speak to her, and I said, I suppose you're wondering why I'm reading my Bible in here. She said, well, it did seem a bit...
You won't carry the can back, but I've got to carry the can back. But I'm not carrying the can back for no...
Talk. I love to listen to it. Go round in the mornings, down the street, yop.
People say to me, big-hearted feeling.
You won't carry the can back, but I've got
taken a
to carry the
delight
can
all
back.
my
But
life
I'm not carrying the can
in
back for
giving
no...
away.
Talk.
The landlord came up, you
I
see,
love
the
to
other day,
listen
and
to
he
it.
said to me...
The old attitude of everybody is you were finished. You were too old. Go.
I would have liked to have worked down, but they threw me out because I was old. It's a sin to grow old, you know. We had an old lady here, and everybody would run and get her a cup of tea, and they'd wait on her and do all those little things, but she'd always say, nobody wants me. Well, I mean, if you take that attitude, you can't expect anyone to want you, can you?
I could take £1 out this morning, lay it out, and I wouldn't see anything for it. Look at the price of your butter. Why, we got the best butter when I was a girl at 8p a pound, and the best roly bacon at 6p. 24 eggs for £1.
£2 of sugar, a pound of margarine, and I think I'll take a pound of cooking fat. I'm a bit short.
How long have people been
Half a
having
pound
good
of
material
140.
things?
How long? They hadn't had it above, what, 20, 30 years. This release from sheer anxiety about where the next meal was coming from. If, when the pressure is lifted, they should go a bit daft for 10 minutes, who's to blame? And who's to wonder at it?
Carrying of ammunition and water. Dead and wounded were lying about. And as I lay there, a voice alongside me said, "Look, Murphy, there's a little buttercup." I said, "Well, what about it?" Said, "That must be the good seed, falling on the good ground. We must be the bad seed, falling on the rocks."
And my dad used to go away to sea, like, and it's very hard on my mother, you know. Used to have her beatings for nothing. She was a very hard-working woman. And when he come home from sea, all the money would go over the counter. And then, of course, my mother died on Christmas Eve. And she left me 14, a little baby, 12 months old. And another one, 4. My dad stayed with us 8 weeks. And then he got a ship and went away and left us. So of course he died after, you know. Then I had more trouble on my plate, like my husband never ever got much work. And I've had to work all my life. But thank God, God's been very good to me and his Holy Mother.
It's a bit of a lousy life, taking it all around from top to toe.
I was a big baby and I was a fat little girl, a fat school girl, a fat young woman, and now I'm a fat old woman. Happy days.
But we're all part of a great mass. This great mass is just split up into little bits. We're the little bits. I'm part of you, you're part of me.
The agony of our time is this overhanging threat. What can you say about that? The overhanging threat of the atomic bomb.
To find out more about the capital of culture, and
There
see videos
you
about
go,
the art-
straight from YouTube it was. And Morning in the Streets. I'd advise you go and find that on YouTube and watch it all in one go, because it's a bit too long to show in one go, I felt here, but great. And some of the memories, the little, I love the skipping songs and the playground songs and the games and stuff that I can remember. And I know they say, oh yes, the good old days. Would we? I don't think we'd really want to go back, but probably for the morals of the day, yes. But when we think of all the wonderful technology and as far as medical things, I mean, it's a different world totally, isn't it? But there you go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that anyway. And I love that little girl with, I thought she, like I say, looks like she buried somebody. And Jan Kirby said probably the cat. I thought, well, that would explain the dog sniffing around, wouldn't it? Absolutely great stuff. How are you doing with our 6 of the best this evening? I better give you a quick rundown very, very quickly of it one more time. Just so you've got it and you can't say, you know, we're not giving you enough chance. Known to generations of Hinckley youth as Daddy B of Daddy B's Cafe on Northfield Road. But what was his real name? One of those there is his real name. Okay. Kevin, I think Kevin Beasley's going to get that one tonight. It sounds like he's got inside knowledge. Question 2. Loggerhead and snapping are types of what? Yes, I've been at loggerheads with him all day long. And that is question number 2. Question 3. Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun. Is that true? Is it false? Is it a load of old bananas? That is question 3. Question 4. Guess the year. What year did Hinckley's very first X-ray unit open? Yeah, the right answer is there somewhere. Can you get it right? Okay. Question number 5. Where am I? I'm in Hinckley. Where am I? Where's that little window go? Let's go through the square window, shall we? We'll find out before the end of the programme. And question 6. Let me see if I can give you a little bit more on this. Balance Cannonball Duelings. Now, if you rearrange that, you'll get a now long gone social venue in Hinckley, which it was. And the clue I've put is no judging here. So strictly no judging here at all. Okay. But it's a venue that's long since gone, but I can say lots of couples went there, not just for social thing, but something else they did there as well. I can't say what it was because it'll give it away. Yeah, so Balance Cannonball Duelings, a very well-known, now long gone social venue as it was in the time in Hinckley. Yeah. And there it is. Look, strictly no judging here. Yeah. Dave B. I think I know too, but the rest, not a clue. Oh, come on, David. How long have you been left Hinckley? That's what I want to know. My word. I'll try and keep giving you clues, but I've got a feeling John Denny's remarkably quiet, unless he's not got back yet. I don't know, Kath, but however, because normally he likes to get there, say, anagram down, sir. Okay, lovely. Let's move on. As you know, there's only a limited amount of stuff we can show you here on HDPP before you start seeing some of it again. So if you've got to go and get your tea ready, we have shown this before, but it's always worth a show for those that haven't seen it. Or indeed, sometimes it's nice to see the old films again. And so I've chose for this week's feature, I've chose Twixt the Walls by the late Stuart Watson, because it's still a nice little feature that only lasts about 18 minutes long. So I'm going to go off and get a sandwich while you watch this.
As seen from the air in recent years, Hinckley, similar to most other towns over the post-war years, has become pedestrianised in its town centre with extensive spread and growth into its surrounding countryside. To the east, on Leicester Road, the green fields have been taken for estate developments and out-of-town supermarket sites. Here we look down onto the Asda building close by Ashby Road, at one time the site of a brickyard. The arrow marks the property formerly known as the Manse, situated 2 doors along the Leicester Road from the corner of de Montfort Road. In 1931, a similar aerial shot illustrates the amount of open space that existed, and clearly we see the old brickyard, now Asda. The relatively unbuilt Leicester Road, with the arrow showing the Manse, then a fairly new building having been constructed in 1926. Taken in 1934, this photograph of the Manse shows that Leicester Road was almost only a lane with its grassy verges, not even a drainage gutter. Moving a little closer to town, we pass by the Mount Grace Grammar School, a youthful venue for many of our viewers. Grimms Lane in 1923, now known as New Buildings, was then the main approach road to the centre, passing by the then existent Wesleyan Chapel at the top of Stockwall Head. Turning down Castle Street, we arrive at the junction with Church Walk, and this haunted building was demolished in 1923 to enable the site to be developed for the town's very own gas showrooms. These were opened in 1924. The variety of transport on this photo is a sign of the times. From this same spot, but looking down Castle Street, on the left of the picture is the building which, in the 19th century, had housed Hinckley's authoress, Charlotte Brame. Further down Castle Street, but looking up again in 1923, we see both motorised and horse-drawn vehicles travelling in both directions. A little later in 1929, a policeman on point duty in the lower building on the left still retains today the same upper floor facade and image. 1920 in Regent Street had a collection of some of the town's older properties. Indeed, in some of the buildings seen here on the left, the upper floors are almost identical today. This row, of course, no longer exists, having been replaced in the 1950s by the Edwards Centre. And one of these transport vehicles was converted at the weekends into a charabanc for excursions into the country. During the 1920s, Station Street was a road of considerable significance, with its direct route, as its name indicates, to the very important and much used railway station. A business-like looking band of local officials are here about to enter the new borehole workings to inspect in 1922. Always a major problem in the town had been its inadequate supply of drinking water, and to alleviate this situation, this was commenced in the nearby village of Snareston, the route being fed via Nuneaton, and October the 18th, 1926 was the grand day for commencing with this supply, and the tap was turned by Mr. George Chollerton, ably watched by many dignitaries, including the town surveyor, Mr. Jack Featherstone. The upper portion of Castle Street was quite distinctive, with the lawns off to the right. The lawns being demolished in 1929 to make way for further town development. The vast changes that were taking place in the late 20s and 30s had a twofold direction, one being to clear the slums under the guise of town improvements. One unfortunate feature being that so many of the old established yards and jitties were disappearing after a lifetime which in some cases had existed for many centuries. The Bluebell lodging house was demolished in 1931 to make way for road widening and improvements of Trinity Lane. Still remaining is the Duke of Rutland, and in the distance can be seen the Dog and Gun, which is still a town hostelry today. The whole of this block of buildings in the centre of the picture disappeared along with the Blue Bell. This photograph has a fine collection of vehicles. The milk float, horse-drawn. A man with a two-wheeled handcart. A fine old motor car, and in front of the Liberal Club appears to be a horse-drawn refuse collection cart. Turning round on this spot, we look towards the borough, with its distinctive buildings, but sadly the Odeon Theatre and Cinema have now gone. Another pub to disappear, but eventually be replaced, was the Holywell in London Road. And travelling up the London Road, we arrived at the notorious Workhouse. On the opposite side of the road to the Workhouse, we used to have the fire station, which in its early days had horse-drawn fire tenders. You may wonder how quickly they arrived at the scene, having first to catch and harness the horses before proceeding on their journey. To the rear of the fire station and immediately adjacent was the Queen's Park, aptly named to commemorate the Golden Jubilee of Queen Victoria in 1887. In August 1933, the town was to provide its first motorised gang mower. It took the whole of the town council to supervise the unloading and assembly, although there appears to only be George Thorne accomplishing the physical side of the operation. George looks a very proud chauffeur giving this machine its debut, which, when viewing the photograph in the distance, indicates that it must have been taken on a Monday. In those days, Monday was wash day. Stockwell Head and its many yards and jetties were the subject of intense slum clearance activities in the early 30s, and you can clearly see that this wasn't before time in many cases. Square, another of the many Georgian and Victorian features of the town to disappear. Britannia Yard being one of these yards, and we see a variety of properties which had been home to many people over many years. This terraced house in the yard has its dolly tub and ponch, the tin bath which would be lifted into the house on a Friday evening, and also the enamel washing up bowls which constantly seemed in need of repair with that little nut and bolt and large metal and rubber washers. Many will remember Teddy Harold for his skill as a photographer with the Hinckley Times, but the younger generation of those days enjoyed his other main pastime of the model train rides at the school treats and fairs. Radio Corner in 1934 was the sales and service agency for Marconi products, and to the rear of this another yard for slum clearance known as Cox's Abbey. The majority of the older properties had no running water facilities inside, and it was necessary to visit the standpipes and taps in the yard. At the same time, an inside loo was a luxury not even thought of by inhabitants of these houses. A visit to a privy, often communal with a neighbour, at the bottom of the garden or yard was the order of the day or night, a thought not to be relished. The lower end of town was experiencing drastic changes for road widening, etc., always at the forefront of Mr. Jack Featherstone's thinking for envisaging increases in traffic and town layout improvements. S.M. Knight, skip and hamper makers disappeared. These, together with the plant in Skexley Cleaners, had relied upon reeds and special marsh grasses from the hosier beds at the foot of Mill Hill and the Wykin. But when drainage was installed to this swampy area, it destroyed the growing conditions for these reeds. Further up Bond Street, at the junction with the Hollycroft, was the Manor House, which was, during its latter years, an isolation hospital without windows, presumably an attempt to isolate any infections from escaping. This was finally pulled down in 1934, the month of October, seeing the trees and front walls being its first victims. Mr. Shirley Atkins, the town clerk, performed the duty of unlocking the gates to the Hollycroft Park on May 1935 to celebrate the Jubilee of King George V and Queen Mary. From Shakespeare Drive and before the growth of the shrubs and bushes, the views over the Wycombe were completely uninterrupted. Once again, the tenacity of Mr. Jack Featherstone came to the fore, who had had a vision since 1931 of converting this hillside piece of land into a leisure park for the town. He saw the use of much of the demolition material from the manor house for the building of rock gardens and bridges, etc., its close proximity to the Hollycroft being a distinct advantage. Obviously, a great turnout of civic dignitaries, and from the shadows cast on the ground, it appears to have been a splendid day of weather for the occasion, and a pleasant stroll to take in the new leisure area was enjoyed by all, being led here by Mr. Jack Featherstone and Mr. A.S. Atkins. According to Mr. Robert Argyle, who was junior to the then town surveyor, the total cost of the construction of the park, including the bandstand, etc., was less than £4,500. With virtually no mechanisation but a large unemployed force available to wield the spade and wheelbarrows, were some of the factors in keeping the costs to a minimum. The chairman of the council, Mr. A.J. Pickering, planted the Jubilee oak, which had been retrieved from the Burbage woods, together with large acer trees which still exist today. Anywhere in the country, a hunt meeting was, and still is, a colourful occasion. This venue at the home of Colonel Clive Atkins provided a spectacle, and as they emerge onto the A5 or Watling Street in 1935, it shows it was very much a major road in need of widening even then. The following year, back in the Hollycroft Park, June 1936, saw the opening of the bowling greens, and Mrs. Jack Featherstone had the pleasure of casting the first jack and sending the first wood. Bowling rapidly became popular within the park, alongside the enclosed tennis courts. The ladies have always been resplendently dressed to suit, and the established style of hats is still the mode today. Perhaps some of these are still in use. You may be one of the enthusiastic youngsters here at the Lido off Ashby Road. It was obviously a sport for the young as well as the more senior, who in those days were wearing costumes of a very modest nature. In days gone by, Hinckley was a town that took every opportunity to hold a parade, and it would seem that almost all the town would turn out to watch. That is, those who weren't actually participating. The first concrete road, Hollier's Walk. Also, the creation of the Jericho Farm Estate, Tane Bank, and the Middlefield Lane Estates, and shops were amongst the numerous other developments. A April 1937, and the local bobbies had their new home, which completely altered the outlook of Upper Bond Street. And shortly after this, in 1937, another excuse for a parade, the coronation of George VI and Queen Elizabeth, the present Queen Mother. The stagecoach and Hinckley's own designed handsome cab completed the parade, and a brief glimpse of the Carlton Cafe may remind many of an intimate meeting place. The size of this choir will no doubt make the present vicar very envious. And also in those days, male chauvinism was rampant, with not one lady visible in the choir. And who remembers Mr. Musson's Stop Me and Buy One? The carnival in 1938 was no exception. It followed the similar pattern that had been created over the years. Of course, the mode of transport and float designs saw a constant improvement and source of enjoyment for everyone concerned. The planned council building and improvements continued, and during the middle and late 30s, various public facilities in the lawns and rock gardens were erected. Richmond and Clarendon parks were opened as permanent green areas, all of which was part of the overall plan masterminded by the town surveyor. We still appeared to have the horse-drawn dust cart in 1937. Although progress was continuing on all these other town requirements, indeed, additional water was needed, and Snareston had yet another borehole produced. From left to right, Mr. Jack Featherstone, Abner Bailey, Mr. Toone, Stan Hyam and Shirley Atkins were prominent members of the official inauguration party on the 12th of April 1937. Unloading of goods at the railway station was a major task, with daily arrivals of fruit and vegetables. Via one of the town's main wholesalers, Toone's of Clarendon Road, they arrived at the shops, one of which, Coles on Queen's Road, served the public and housewife in the upper part of the town. Church Walk cottages were one of the town's historical features, but the condition of these was such that the initial demolition of these commenced in 1938 and subsequently the remainder in the 1950s. Here they have exposed a fine and varied selection of brickwork and timbered construction. The Hinckley Hospital Carnival of July the 10th, 1939 was now changing and carried in the normal fashion on the horse-drawn vehicle. It so happens that the visiting Carnival Queen from Nuneaton was being there chauffeured in a beautiful white SS100 Jaguar. Quite a feature of the day. But still, the many individuals suitably attired and the numerous bands made their regular attendance. Mid-39 and the war started, and rationing commenced, but the weather had no respect for the restrictions incurred. But even with a war being raged, a parade was still something to be continued. During the night of May the 16th, 17th, 1941, enemy aircraft returning from their major attack on Coventry unloaded their surplus bombs on Hinckley, with Merivale Avenue suffering severe damage. On this night, some 11 inhabitants were lost. But life still has to go on, and in June of 1941, the weather was great, and the town showed that they were as ever prepared to join together and enjoy their very own park in Hinckley.
And our thanks to the late Stuart Watson for that film. And as I always say, please remember that although the sound's a bit hissy and I've had to really crank up the control so you could hear it properly, he did all this on his home video recorder and stuff. So I can appreciate the problems working with the technology of the time, whereas we have all things digital now. You can do so much more. So I think Stuart did a grand job trying to record these things. And like I say, Stuart, sadly, before he passed, had given me permission to be able to show these as many times as I wanted, no problem. He was quite proud of that. So there we go. So once again, one I know you've seen before, but always worth every now and again to, let people watch again. And Alan Crop said, I enjoyed that. Russet said, lovely film. Great video, says Jeff. Great. Listen, how are you doing? How are you doing with it? Now, one or two people have got the anagram. Well done. Let's go for the final time. We'll go through the questions one more time, then we'll have a nosy, then we'll give you the answers. So with no further ado, let's get on to the right page first. Here we go. Question number 1. Known to generations of Hinckley youth as Daddy B, of Daddy B's Cafe on Northfield Road, what was his real name? That's question 1. Question 2. Loggerhead and snapping are types of what? Question 3. Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun. Is that true, false, or is it just a load of bananas? Question number 4. Guess the year. What year did Hinckley's very first X-ray unit open? One of them is, of course, the correct answer. Where am I in Hinckley? Where am I? I am in Hinckley, but where am I? You'll find out after the nosy this evening and the anagram question. First of all, congratulations to those that have got it so far. you can probably see how the clue works into this now. Balanced cannonball duelings. Rearrange that, you'll find a now long gone social venue. Actually, it's well known for other things, nice things, particularly by couples. And as I say, and the clue. Well, look, strictly no judging here, I would say. Oh, did he give a clue? There you have it. No judging here. Or should I say strictly no judging here? Make your mind upon that one. That is, of course, 6 of the best this evening. Okay, then. Right, we've got time for a nosy. A good old nosy with our Steve. And then when we come back, we'll give you the answer, of course, to our questions we've asked tonight. And it's going to be pretty good. But I think you'll enjoy this one. Listen, you're going to be frit now. This is a frit nosy. And you can only be frit by these noses. This is probably one we ought to have blooming well screened round Halloween time. So with no further ado. Oh, well done, Tim. He said, Jane said, I've got the anagram. Clever, eh? Back after the nosy.
Hello, hey up and hey diddling, my name is Steve and once again it's a great big warm welcome from myself to Let's Explore. Right, to my left we've got everybody's favourite pissed up comedian, the pissed up priest. Hello. And in the back, holding the camera, we've got delighted Dave. Right then, so this evening, as you can see, without stating the bleeding obvious as per usual, it's dark. And we're off to look at some abandoned houses, you know. Now, we might look at 2 or even 3 this evening. And the first 2 are in the middle of nowhere, you know, a long way from, well, I mean, you're never really far away from anywhere in bloody England, are you? Let's be honest about it, but they're quite a good distance from any civilization anyway, but we'll go on our nose there, see what the dealio is, and we need to go and see if we can find some ghosts, don't we, Steve?
We do, and we're far enough away from a pub that we might need a beer.
Well, yeah, there's that as well. Now, the other issue is this evening, my good pissed up buddy to my left, he's actually had the best part of 2 bottles of wine this evening, so we've got to keep his eye on him that he don't go head first into note.
Well, I've been busy.
He's been busy in his garage, isn't he?
He's living up to his name though.
Yeah, that's the last time he looks at my brakes. No, bless him. Anyway, next time you see us, we shall be on location. Right then, as you can see, here's his first port of call for today's video. And as you can see, a very atmospheric, very spooky, very scary looking old house this is, isn't it? In the middle of nowhere, completely abandoned, not far from the East Leicestershire border with Staffordshire actually. And as you can see, what we've done, me and Steve are inside this house under the directions of Dave, who stood outside taking the photo, and he told us where to point his torch is. Really like that. But this property, you know, I think it was built between 1800 and 1850, so it's very old, built in blue brickwork as well, which is quite rare, isn't it? Very expensive bricks they are as well, used predominantly in the foundations of properties, but yeah, fantastic, and he's done a good job of lighting the place up as well, isn't he? But as I think I mentioned in the car there, we're going to go to 3 places, but we didn't go to the one near this in the end. We may visit that in the future, but anyway, let's get on with this one and go and look round it. Right then everybody, we've made it. So this bit of an area that we're in here, this is like an outhouse / some sort of stable. It's really old, this building. And the amazing thing about this house, you know, it's pretty much built entirely in not red engineering brickwork, blue engineering brickwork. Very expensive building material. But, oh, we can get in here. We need the gardener, Dave. Yeah. Bloody hell. I know. I've cleared the way for you. Can you remember this look, Dave? This looks like a stable. Look at that arching. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, I do remember this, yeah.
Look at that. Get the camera on there. And
fabulous, isn't it?
it's wonderful, isn't it? It's amazing. Amazing, absolutely amazing, these buildings. I can't get enough of them, to be honest with you. But let's get in the house anyway. Look at that, like it's never been lived in, isn't it? But it holds memories. I don't know what they've got these gas canisters in here for. Very interesting, we've got the stairs. I can't remember what was bit of an understairs cupboard here, weren't it? Yeah, there's no really to see in there, but... So you can just imagine, can't you, Dave? You'd have had, someone would have had a seat here. I mean, these were built long before all the technology we've got today. Nobody ever sat in here on bloody Instagram and Facebook, did they? They sat here, probably got a toasting fork, bit of bread on the fork, toasted it. That was probably the cooker as well. Maybe there was a bit of an auger in there, and they've removed it. But...
Oh, so this was a kitchen, what was this the kitchen?
Well, living and kitchen. I mean, they didn't have loads of rooms, did they, in these places? Yeah. Right, so... Do you know what? This stairs, these stairs don't look that old. The wood on it. Do you know what I mean? Well, just watch your step, just in case.
What brought me over time?
There's a dead bird in here. No, a dead blackbird, but was it a jackdaw? I don't know, I ain't touching it. You can't imagine someone to have lived in here, can you? You really can't. Incredible, isn't it?
Crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Crazy. Have a look on the beam to the side of that door, Steve, on the top. Has my sticker's got on there?
On a nosy.
Yeah, right on the nose, I see. Hey, here, look. So we came in here a couple of years back, and that's still there, look. Dave Cat Photography. You heard it here first. But yeah, it's oh, poor thing down there, bless it. Yeah, someone's put the old pentagram on the wall in here, look. So there's been some shenanigans going off up here, isn't there, Stevie?
Yes.
So people that have visited here, by the looks of it, they've put the names in.
There. Oh, yeah.
Something Dad. I don't know, strange, isn't it? Look at that. Do you know what I really fancy right now, David?
Seance.
No, more than that. I could fancy a tin of Guinness.
Oh, I fancy a dark fruit.
Well, you know what? I might have one of them in my bag.
Hey? The piss, surely not the pissed up priest.
Pissed up priest has got a bar in his bag.
Yeah, so up to my name.
Yeah.
The pissed up priest?
Yeah.
He's got a Guinness in his bag.
You heard it here first.
Let's have a look.
Well, what would you know?
Guinness?
Hey? No way.
Hey, no Coors Light tonight,
Dark
Robert.
fruits.
No way.
Strongbow, other sizes are available.
Right, here we are, down the poltergeisting. It's all right, isn't it? Do a bit of a paint job. What do you reckon, Steve?
We might all end up downstairs in a minute.
Paintbrush will be all right. Fall through the floor, we'll have our own,
Hey?
own fire escape.
So,
I reckon you shook mine. Shaking all over. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I like that song. Do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in something.
Do you?
I know Handsome Adam's big on the ghosts.
Yeah, what about you, Steve?
100%.
Yeah.
Only because I've seen them myself in my own house.
Yeah. What, after a few sherbets? Or...
It might have been a few sherbets, yeah.
Yeah, well...
I have seen some strange things, and one of them was with Handsome Adam.
My only argument is, us as a life form, we are energy. This mind that controls our bodies, I don't know about Steve, I don't know who's controlling his. I think some kid on a PlayStation's controlling Steve somewhere.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah. But I don't know, it's a poser, isn't it? It's a stranger. I mean, energy doesn't die, does it? Do you know what I mean? So, I think we all like to think there's an afterlife, don't we? I mean, I'll be sticking... Can you imagine if I don't know if I'll be going to heaven. I'll be going to an old railway shed somewhere.
Any noise we hear now, would automatically be suspicious.
Oh, with shitter sends, wouldn't
Like
we?
we woodpecker.
Yeah,
like
you knob. I'll still say there's a conspiracy there. I reckon you pair planned that.
No, I didn't. I'm in a bloody graveyard like normal.
That did make me jump, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit suspicious, but yeah, do ghosts exist? I don't know. I'll tell you a little story now. If my dad's watching now, he's going to be divorcing me because he don't believe in anything like that. But when I don't know if I dreamt this up when I was a kid, or I don't know if it's real. I used to love sooty and sweep when I was a kid. You know, yeah, Matthew, what's his name? Wasn't it Corbett?
Corbett.
Yeah, and I was upstairs. I remember when I was a kid, I had this little puppet of sooty, and I swear blind, I was in my bedroom playing one day. No, it was a train set, and sooty landed on my bed like something had threw it. Now, it wasn't up on a shelf or anything. It was in my toy box behind where Roland Rat was. Hey, Kevin! Hello, Roland! Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know if I've dreamt that up or if that were real. But yeah, if my dad's watching, he'll be divorcing me, won't he?
So you've been haunted by the
Ghost of
puppet
Sooty.
Sooty.
So here's the thing. I'm 38 years old. He's 59. He lies about his age. Do you know what I mean? Right, and we're in the middle of nowhere. We've got a combined age of 100 and something, and we're talking about bloody sooty and sweep on a Saturday night in a house that's going to fall down in a second, drinking Guinness.
What could get any better? What could possibly go wrong?
Well, yeah. Right, should we carry on?
Yeah, let's carry on.
Yeah. Lovely, yeah, I know.
We won't get through.
When there's something strange in your neighbourhood, who you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
Yeah, the pistol priest. Right then, so it's time to leave this old abandoned house in the middle of nowhere in eastern Leicestershire and go a bit closer to because in a bit of an urban area, not too far from me, we've got this old abandoned property that we're looking at now. And this one, it's in a very sad state of repair. They've been in there, they've taken all the copper out and flogged it, no doubt. But it will be pulled down, I think, this one, because it sits on quite a big plot of land, you know, and it's actually subject to planning permission at the minute. They're trying to get planning on it to build a few houses, which I'm not sure if it's going to go through or not, to be honest, but we went and had a look. Like I say, it's not in very good condition at all. There's not a lot left in it. But although Steve had the best part of 2 bottles of wine, you know, he'd got his nose in gear because he found something very interesting in the garden for us to go and have a nosy at. Anyway, let's go and have a look round it and see what the dealio is. Right, so it's time for our second property of the evening. We're going in through the window, as you do. Right. So, we've just been in that really old house in the middle of nowhere. This one's in more of an urban area. We were going to explore something near the one that we've just been to, but we decided to cancel that for now.
Good, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, decrepit like all of them, isn't it?
Look, even the jump now comes through the door, Steve.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Unbelievable.
Help! Fancy a nosy, join Let's Explore. It says in a magazine.
You heard it here first, look at that.
You heard it here first.
You couldn't make it up, could you? Oh, bloody hell.
Hey, look.
Hey, look at this, Steve.
There we are, look, in a magazine.
Oh.
Fancy a nosy?
You couldn't make it up, could you?
Chances of that.
Hey, you heard it here first. No, it was me. Ooh. Wow, look at that. I mean, this is unbelievable, this is. I mean, that was someone's pride and joy once. I mean, look at it. I mean, everything else has been stripped out of this house pretty much, all the copper and everything. Now, usually you might expect this to probably get nicked, wouldn't you, Steve? But
yeah, it's knocking on.
Yeah, but because of the condition of it inside, I mean, it's rusting away, really, so that's probably why it's survived and stays here. But even got an old fire guard behind here, look. See what I mean? There's been a lot of people coming in here, that's for sure, but...
It's a shame.
Well, yeah, it is a shame. It's going to get pulled down as well. You just got to be careful here because this has been boarded up. Just want to thank Dave's mate Adam because he came in here the other day with Michelle and Tracy actually doing a bit of a ghost hunt in here. So, hello chaps and chapettes if you're watching. Yeah, this place, it's a bit bigger than I thought it was actually. Like I said, I'm just trying to be careful with the light because we're in a village now. So I know it's amazing, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Incredible that is. Oh, do you know what? I thought that was going to be a cellar then. Unfortunately not. I'm just gonna head upstairs actually, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not expecting to see an awful lot. They might not, there'll be a piss head asleep up here, won't there? Yeah, they've been in and stripped the copper and that out, look. They have. We've seen this before when they've done that. Just saying, they've been in and stripped the copper out, look.
Yeah, they've had the floor up.
Yeah. And here's the insulation for the tank, look, so they've had the tank out of here and all. Yeah, look at that, yeah, they've done that. Had the fireplace as well, look.
That's probably been a cast iron one.
Yeah, I'll bet. Look at these butterflies in here. Hibernating. Oh, the usual suspects, look. Got plenty of them in my house, them spiders. Yeah. Shame, ain't it, when properties end up like that? Mind you, this is going... this house will most likely be pulled down and it's got quite a bit of land with it. Ooh, fancy a bath in that, Steve?
Well, there's some old newspaper here, look.
Is there? All right. What year's that? I mean... Yeah. I can remember the Extra. They used to deliver that when I was a kid. I just heard a knock downstairs then. Mind you, we're near the pub, there's probably piss heads coming out.
Did you?
What year was it? Can't you
Calvary
read it?
12 Trousers, 1999.
Oh, is it? Bloody hell, 24 years ago. So, with this house, you've got something even more interesting than the house. We've actually got a shelter. So...
Look at the steps there coming down.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there is steps down to it. So yeah, there's a shelter here for World War II. When that were on. Look at that. That's brilliant. Wow.
Oh, I said there was one here, didn't I?
Yeah, fantastic that.
Turn to left.
Right, yeah, so butcher's in here then. This is more fascinating than the house, in my opinion. Wow, yeah, so, oh shit. So yeah, not a very big structure, but yeah, you could have hid down here if there was a raid on, do you know what I mean? First one of these I've ever been in. Ah, there's a bit of a manhole cover there, look.
That'll be your escape.
Yeah. Wow. What are these then? These holes, are these heaters, Steve? I mean, obviously they're for letting air in.
Yeah.
But, see, there would have been some sort of door on there, look.
That's possible, a little oven. Could be a little oven.
Oh, yeah, it could be, yeah.
What's this then, Steve?
There's one matching this side, look.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Was it red brick built? I think it is, isn't it?
What's this then, Steve? Yeah.
All right. You have a look.
I can't my torches about then.
I think it's just a storage.
Right,
I think it's just storage.
I don't think there's much in there, is there, apart from... Yeah, there's bits of wood and metal. Yeah, it's more spiders than anything. Right, well, unfortunately, that concludes this Nosy this evening. I hope you've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed stumbling about in the dark with these pair of wallies, you know what I mean? But yeah, really nice to end it here. Not a very big structure, but if you needed to get out of the house and run down the bottom of the garden, you know, if there are any bloody bombers coming over or anything, then you get in here, don't you? But yeah, first time I've ever been in one of these. A little bit claustrophobic, in my opinion, if you're going to be down here for for a long time, but yeah, brilliant. Anyway, really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you at the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.
There you go. My word, did he get about Mark? And he's joined us in the chat room as well. He said, "I've just come in from a failed nosy." Oh dear, oh dear. He'll be upset about that. But however, I'm sure he'll be telling us all about it in future editions. The nosy. And like I say, go to Let's Explore, and you will see even more of the noses. And of course, every now and again, we feature them again. So great. There you go. People loving it. There you go, Steve. Absolutely loving your nose there. Always wanted to have a nose in an old house, says Alan Kropp. You can come here. But anyway, loving it, actually. So well done indeed. Okay, so listen, time of the evening when we say, how are you doing with Six of the Best? It's that time again. We're going to give you the answers now. So stand by. We're going to go. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen first. Don't start putting your answers in yet. We'll go to each question at a time, and I will ask you to put the answer in. Okay. So don't give me the answer to question 4 when we're still working on question 1. You understand what I mean? Okay. Here we go. Right, so let's get down to 6 of the best. And like I say, what we will do, we'll go to question 1 and just work all the way through them. Okay, so question 1. Known to generations of Hinckley youth as Daddy B of Daddy B's Caff on Northfield Road. Now, what was his real name? Was it Arthur Blankley, Alan Burke, or Alfred Bottomley? Who is going to be the first one? I've got a feeling Kevin might be first on this one. Anyway, one of those is the correct answer. And I'm now literally waiting for the answer to appear on the screen in the chat room. Let's see. Yeah, now little Jane has come through. Jane, well done. She's got it right first go. Arthur Blankley is the name. Yes. Oh, and Carol comes in with Arthur Blankley as well. Well done. And let's just see if there's any late comers to that one. Yes. So, yes, Jan Kirby, AB. Stop being smart. No problem. Yes, Arthur Blankley is Daddy B. Yes. And Kevin Beasley's son was Graham Blankley. There we go. There you go. We'll learn something every day. Well done. Give yourself a point if you got that right. That's 1 point to the general good. Now, loggerhead and snapping are types of what? Right. Well, no, I've been at loggerheads with him all day, yeah. Dave B answers with a question. Turtles? Yes. It is. Jan says turtles, and Jane says turtles too. Yes, they're a type of turtle. Alan Kropp saying turtles. Daniel Coburn, turtles. Absolutely. Not the same turtles that I'd hit with She'd Rather Be With Me in the 1960s. Ha! I move on. That's my Radiohead coming on again there. Right. True or false? Bananas are curved because they grow upwards towards the sun. Is that true, false? Or is it just a pile of bananas? I'm interested to see how you do about this. I wonder how many people went on Google to get the answer. Daniel Colburn, false. Jane, true. Jan, false. Alan Kropp said Marie, false. Alan, true. Kevin Beasley says false. Well, I can reveal to you the answer, believe it or not, is true. It's true. They grow upwards and curve upwards. I thought it was. I'll be honest with you. When I researched that, I thought, oh, that's a load of old bananas. No, it's got to be the other way. But no. But it's true. Yeah, absolutely. So it's true. It's true. I tell you. We're going to guess the year now. What year did Hinckley's very first X-ray unit open? There's the dates. Look, let's see who comes through with the correct year. Jan Kirby. Well, I never. It's not what I heard. Right, Jan Kirby says 72. Tim Townsend 72. And so far, all those are wrong. Now then, Alan Kropp. Marie says 73. Alan says 72. Marie is the first one right there, followed by Ian Roberts. Yet 1973. Carol says 1973. Kevin Beasley said 71. It's definitely 1973. Daniel Coburn 73. And I say, if you've got that correct year of 1973, give yourself a point. And if you've got them all right so far, you're doing very well. But how did you do with where am I? I'm wearing Hinckley. Oh my word! Where can you see this little hidden window? Yep, Alan Crop going boo to his last question. And Jane Townsend said, Jane says, side of Michael's hairdressers. I'm afraid it's not the side of... I know why you're thinking that, Jane. I understand why you're thinking that, but it's not. I was just about to say I have used this before as well. I'm just waiting a few more moments to see if anybody else suddenly comes up with the answer. So we're not at the side of Michael's hairdressers. Side of the card, the Arden Calf. No, I'm not at the side of the... I understand once again. I understand why you're seeing that. I'm surprised no one's come up with this one. So I'll give it a couple more moments, and then I will reveal the answer to you, and you will kick yourself. I promise. I promise. Okay, I'm gonna reveal the answer now. The answer. Where am I? I'm there, look, I'm at the Black Horse. Well, who'd surprise you? There you go, look, Black Horse. The Black Horse, that's where I was, did. All right, so now you know. Okay, you see, I don't just make this up. On to the anagram then. Balanced cannonball duelings. Strictly no judging here, you know. I did try and slip in a verbal clue with that by saying strictly. Let's just see who's got this. A few people got the anagram right. So let's see if you've got the anagram. Jane's put Leo and Annabelle's Dancing Club. Yes. Leo and Annabelle's Dancing Club. Yeah, you're getting it right. Absolutely you are. Yeah, Leo and Annabelle's Dancing Club. Yeah, Leo and Annabella's. Yeah, yes, it's all there. That's why I said no judging here. And then I started saying strictly no judging here to try and throw an extra line to you. Well done if you got the anagram. I was quite pleased with balanced cannonball duelings. Yeah, so well done. So now is the time, as you know, is to send me your totals, ladies and gentlemen, and I can show the viewers at home. You can see what's been going on. We've got three for Alan, 3 for Marie. But you them all right to get 6. Kevin Beasley, only 3 tonight. Alan Crop said, yeah, you see, no, Alan, doesn't count like that. Daniel Coburn, well, just 2 for me tonight, he says. Jan's got 2. Carol's got 3. Russet, big fat 0 for me tonight. That's unusual, Russet, never mind. 4 for Queen Bee tonight. Just 1 4. Indeed, Jeff Wallace tonight. Mary Blake's got 3. Queen Bee appeared, yeah. So Queen Bee and Jane on the same pegging. The Browns, Arthur Brown says 0. Arthur, I'm glad you're watching. Good. Oh, seriously, I'm glad you've tuned in. I got Nero. Nero. John only got 2. All right. Okay. Listen, well done. Looks like we've got a tie for with 4 out of 6. A little bit difficult tonight. I just thought I'd throw them in because every now and again, I mean, I can throw in regular questions, but it's nice just to throw a curved ball in here and there. Now, let's see what we've got coming up next week. Well, we've, believe it or not, oh, look, Jan said it was hard tonight. Anyway, what's coming up next week? Well, HDPP on Thursday afternoon, we are at Redmoor. Not Redmoor, Richmond. I always get the two mixed up. Richmond School. We're off to talk about Saxons, Vikings, and the like to the pupils there, and the local connections to Hinckley. Yeah, which one of those brought us to talk like Hinckley? Yeah, interesting. So we're looking forward to doing that. So that's what's on next week. My word, we'll be well into February. Oh dear, and then there's all that weather we've not used for next week yet, so there is plenty to be going on with. Thanks for giving up your Sunday evening to be with us here on HDPP. We do appreciate it. Remember to like the video and make sure you're subscribed, because then you get notifications when we go live. Then you don't miss it, you see. Okay, it's been lovely seeing you all in the chat room tonight. Really enjoyed tonight's show, says Alan Crop. Thank you, Alan. And like I say, we'll look forward to, all come back here, all come back round to mine. Come back round to mine on Sunday night. Next Sunday night. I'd love to see you then. Okay, until then, take care. Remember to keep it HDPP, to keep it live. Good night. Willow. It's that part of the programme we never talk about this in the main part. Never. All of you just know to hang around a bit. Cooey. Yes, Kath, I'm here. We do what I do always like to do, just to make it a bit light and send you to bed with a bit of a smile on your face. Have a chortle to yourself, yeah? So, oh, Queen Bee's off. She's getting messages about having a virus. Yeah, we'll sort that out for you. I don't know how genuine it is, if you know what I mean. Okay, right, good. We move on. So, meanwhile, back at the dad jokes, just to send you off with the chortle, I've got you a few tonight. Some you may have heard before, some probably not. But we will see. Are you ready? Which one shall I do first? Yeah, let's do this one. What do you call a dog that can do magic? A labracadabra. I can go with that. A labracadabra. Stop. Love it. Okay, let me give you another one. Justice is a dish best served cold. If it was served warm, it would be just water. Okay. Right. Spring is here. I got so excited, I wet my plants. Yeah! Oh, silly boy. The fattest knight in King Arthur's round table was Circumference. He acquired his size from too much pie. Pie. Circumference. Pie. If you see a robbery at an Apple store, does that make you an eyewitness? Now, nearly there. Nearly there. Why did sorry, that's coming up in a minute. Cashier to customer. Would you like the milk in a bag, sir? And the customer says, no, just leave it in the carton. A termite walks into a bar and asks, is the bartender here? Nearly and finally. Why? Oh, no, it's two more, sorry. What? Did you hear the news? FedEx and UPS are merging. They're going to go by the name of Fed Up from now on. Do like that one. Finally, why did the Invisible Man turn down the job offer? He just couldn't see himself doing it. Until next time, take care. Good night.